I had mentioned that this season will be a very strange season. Okay, I mean, we can already see that, we can smell it. Tottenham acting like, they've got some cojones. I don't know where they are getting that from. So I think we should expect something strange on the table. But yeah, talking about City, let me just talk about Harland. Okay. I don't think Harland is stressed or anything. I don't think he is not in form. I think Harland has been discovered.
Yeah, good. Good to see you guys. Good to be back again. Transit TV, welcome back again after 2 weeks or thereabout break, international break. Chioma, you remember the last time I said I don't like international breaks because
I love it.
I find it difficult to align with any country at this point because sometimes you don't want to root, you don't know which team to support. You're focused on getting the players back fit because there's always a negative news after all international breaks. So I look forward again. But this one came good for me because I made a little trip to Chicago. So it gave me time to settle down and set up, waiting for this big one in London. As we know, Chelsea is hosting Arsenal this weekend.
Yes.
We're going to look at that game. That's our main focus for today's show. Also know that Brighton is going to be visiting the Etihad after City had lost 3 local games on Spain. Then Sheffield United is hosting United, Man United, Liverpool. Of course, the Merseyside derby is happening this weekend as well on Saturday. Liverpool will be at home to Everton. We know that game, regardless of what form you have on the table, is always a big one on that side of town. So with me today, I have Mimi on the show, repping Chelsea fans today. We couldn't get Chioma and Bados on the show because the time was, they couldn't make the time, but Mimi is here today back after 2-3 months. I remember the first time you were here, you were ranting and couldn't see the light at the end of the tunnel, as the so to say. Today, it looks like you're in a different ambience.
Woo!
We'll see how that goes. Again, Chioma is here, as usual. She can't wait to get on this one. I know whenever Chelsea is mentioned, Chioma has all her horns and stuff out there, ready to shoot. Of course, always reliable.
Really?
My man is here as well. So, guys, welcome to the show. How have you guys been this week? Did you enjoy the international break? Is there any game that I didn't watch anyone? I'm going to confess, I didn't watch any game. I really find it difficult to follow the results. I already know that England won yesterday and they qualified for the Euros. The rest history for me.
The only game I watched the 2 Nigerian games. I think Francis Uzoho is a Houston Chronicles goalkeeper that they took to the national team.
Oh, that's good.
We saw how that played out. Nigeria drew 1 and 1-1, I think, but it was just goalkeeping calamity all through.
Welcome to the show, bro. Always
always a pleasure to be here. Good to see Nimi. Reminds me of Rhys James. He's looking like he's resurgent. Hopefully, hopefully he gets to play this weekend. But I saw some of the games. I saw quite a bit of the games. I saw the England games. I saw. I caught a bit of the Spain playing against Norway game. I saw a bit of the France game yesterday. They beat Scotland 4-1. I caught both Brazil games because I wanted to keep my eyes on Gabriel Magalhaes, see how he makes his debut. He got his debut, first goal for Brazil, played very well in both games, but the results for Brazil in this round were pretty bad.
Yeah.
First game they lost, second game they lost 2-0 to Uruguay last night with Nunes scoring the first goal for Uruguay. It was a very strange game. Neymar got injured. Both Gabriel Magalhaes and Gabriel Jesus played for played 90 minutes for Brazil, and they lost the game, which was pretty
They are
bad.
fine, right?
Uruguay were up for it. For a team coached by Marcelo Bielsa, you will know why they rate Bielsa. Man, Bielsa had that team walked up and ready for Brazil. They fought for every single ball, fought Brazil to a standstill. In fact, bullied Brazil really badly. So yeah, I saw all those games, and I'm happy that I think there's no report. Thomas Partey played for 64 minutes against the USA, but the USA beat Ghana 4-0. So yeah.
Yeah.
Chioma, good to see you back on the show.
Yeah, thank you, Reggie. Good to see you. Good to be here again. Welcome, Mr. Nimi, the Chelsea rep. I am so happy you're here today. And to my wonderful Gum, I'm so excited to see us today. Speaking of Nigeria, I caught the 2 games. We are just a mess in the goalkeeping department. And this is calling out all the academies and all the domestic football teams to actually get together and get us a goalkeeper if we would actually make it in the AFCON. Seriously.
Wow.
And, Zoho went to his Snapchat and said something about if it easy, make Oyibo sign you, That was very childish, by the way.
No.
We're asking you to, take corrections. You've been with the team since 2007. And you are still making rookie mistakes. It doesn't make sense, but that's for his.
Did he go that low?
Yeah.
You meant 2017.
Yeah, 2017. He's been there, so you can't be making that kind of rookie mistakes. The game against Saudi Arabia, the free kick that deflected. Yeah, that's a rookie mistake. The other game, I didn't watch it because I was not going to do that to my blood pressure. I didn't watch it, but I saw some cuts, and it was still rookie mistakes, by the way. But I'm not here to talk about Uzo. He will learn his lessons soon anyway. And then, speaking of Brazil, I thought they were supposed to get another coach. There was some, noises about them getting a new coach because I think they are stuck in their old pattern of football, and football has changed from where I'm sitting. So I think the reason why they are being the way they are and not making strides is because they are stuck in their old ways. My opinion.
Yeah,
Brazil
is like England, and for us Nigerians as well. There's so much politics, there's so much interest. Everybody has a say. Whenever their call-ups come out, it's huge debate who should be there, who should not be there. So I think there's so much pressure on the national team, and like you said, Chioma,
I like it though. We like the pressure.
Yeah, that sometimes it brings distraction because when there is always 10 players left that are supposed to be there by popular opinion, it brings distraction. It makes the players that are called up sometimes not have the confidence to play. So it's just so much. And like you said, I think they need to understand that other countries have come of age and developed their game and they take things seriously. I think that's what.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's go to the business of the day. This show, I think we have an hour for this show. Yeah, the main focus this weekend is going to be, of course, Arsenal visiting Chelsea at the Stamford Bridge. But we're going to start with a few other games before we get to that one. We'll get to that one later in the show. Sheffield United is hosting Man United this weekend. Chioma, I want to say anything about that game before we move to the next one.
Sheffield, you took me.
Yeah, that one.
Oh my days. So what am I going to say? First of all, Amrabat is out injured again.
Wow.
Again. For the second time. So I don't know if should we blame it on Fiorentina? Because I'm not sure they sent a broken doll to United. I'm sure they sent the guy because he must have gone through medicals, and then, if he had some issues, they would have called it. But this guy has come to United. He has broken the first time, went out, came back again, broke again. Well, he didn't break in United this time. He broke outside United. So, because why I'm talking about Amrabat is, I know they have played him off position in other games that he played with United, but their last game before we went on the international break, I think he played where he was supposed to play. And I think their midfield synergy is starting to come together, which has always been a United problem from time immemorial. So I'm personally, I'm also like, and there's something about Casemiro. I'm not sure he's okay to play. I don't know. Something I read. I'm not sure his feet, by the way, but maybe I didn't read it right. So they should be able to beat Sheffield if you ask me. They should be able to.
Yeah, they should. United, I think they are beginning to, even when they play horrible, begin to pick up the points if they need to desperately. Talking about Amrabat, I probably think, before he came to United, he didn't want to play professional football. He stayed away and waited for United through the summer. He wasn't really training with the team. He wasn't playing games for the team. So it's possible those rustiness have begun to catch up with him because of the pace of the EPL. So it might take him some time to get up to rhythm with the pace of the EPL. Probably that's why his body is suffering right now. We'll wait and see. Ugum, Liverpool is hosting Everton. Everton has been a mess this season, but again, the Merseyside derby is just like where Arsenal playing Tottenham. It doesn't matter what's going on the league table. It might just always be a fight. What do you expect to happen in this one, considering what has happened to Liverpool in the last two games before the international break?
I expect this game to be very tough for Liverpool, actually. Everton are actually resurgent.
Yeah.
Watch their last two results, I believe were good results. They're starting to find their feet, especially with, their transitions from defense to attack. So trust this man to set up his team to defend against Liverpool, pack the balls, and make sure not to allow them move through the channels and create opportunities. So I expect it to be a tough game for Liverpool. And you know what? Every of these dominant teams in the EPL, case in point, Chelsea, when Chelsea used to be dominant, Manchester United, Liverpool, and Manchester City, this dominance usually would depend on two or three very key players, two or three important players that whenever the big occasion is there, they dominate, right? And this season is going to be strange because none of those teams, let me not say none of them, all of them have lost their major dominant players. Right? Yeah. Manchester City, they've lost De Bruyne. Not lost, actually, but it's not there. But the likes of Gundogan is always a big game player. That always makes a difference when the big teams meet. Liverpool, Bobby Firmino is no longer there. Sadio Mane is no longer there. They have a new crop that still need to be able to stand up when the chips are down. So I'm bringing this into context in this game against Everton, that those guys need to really step up and show that they can replace those big game players, that I just mentioned. Let's see how dominant they can be against Everton. And if Everton defends very deeply, let's see how easy it will be for them to, score goals that will help Liverpool win.
Yeah, I hear you on that point. And to that point, of course, Szoboszlai has a little bit been influential for Liverpool. Only live to see if he, by now, understands the rivalry between Liverpool and Everton and come to the show this weekend and help Liverpool, of course, get these 3 points, because they need to start maximizing this point. They've had two unfortunate results this season already. And if they don't win tomorrow, say Arsenal and City win and Tottenham win, then the gap starts to get even bigger. So I know Liverpool and the club are going to do everything possible this weekend to grab these 3 points against Everton. Of course, we know it's not going to be easy for them. Let me touch base with you right quick before we move to our game of the weekend. Brighton is hosting City. Yeah, check their statistics. The last 5 games, Brighton has won once, drawn one with City, and City won 3 times. But one thing that is always in this game, that Brighton is a team that has found a way to score against City most of the time, though they end up losing sometimes or draw, but they always find a way to score. And City has scores them. But there's something interesting. Pep is always talking about Brighton. It seems he has sleepless nights coming against Brighton because of the way Brighton plays, the way they soak up pressure and play through the press. He has always talked about it. I don't know what you think. What's your expectation in this game? Brighton playing at home to City.
Yeah, so for me personally, historically, when there's a break, like an international break, the big teams suffer. Because you talked about things, someone like Casemiro has gone to South America, the flight, played 2 games in the span of 4 days. And you're telling him to come back to Manchester United to play another week game. So all the big teams, the little teams, Brighton, they're coming out there, but they have some players that weren't invited out there to go play international football. The Mancity squad, everybody was invited. So I expect a fatigued Manchester City squad coming to this game. As it regards both teams, Brighton, they have 15 points. Is that where they're supposed to? They have 16 points. Is that where they're supposed to be? We should expect that based on what they did last season. For Manchester City, they've lost, I think, 2 games in the bout right now. Those 2 games have been categorized by one thing. It shows the importance of Rodri in that midfield. He got a red card and he has missed all these games. I believe he should be coming back.
To this game.
For this game against Brighton.
He played for his country.
Yeah, so expect. I've always said Rodri was the main linchpin in that Manchester City squad. So expect a refreshed Rodri coming in and a Manchester City team that will be tilting. The game, I believe, will be at the Etihad. And
no, Brighton is at home.
Oh, Brighton is at home. Okay. I do apologize for that. It will be a very, very tactical game. The Zebi is tactical. He has always come up. Wolves, I don't know something about Wolves, something about Brighton. Pep has always tactically struggled with those 2 teams. So let's see what's going to happen. But to me, I believe City will be too much to handle for Brighton. Pep has not lost 3 games in a row before. So for him to lose 3 games, for him to go in and lose 3 games in a row, it's going to be calamitous. And I believe we're getting to the point. We're getting to a point where Harland out of form. What is going on? Why is he not going in? Is it that Alvarez-Harland combination? Does one need to play? Does the both of them need to play? So Pep has to discover that. But I think for this game, I'm going to give it up to Manchester City. There will be too much for Brighton to handle on the weekend.
Okay, like Dimi rightly said, Pep has struggled in the last 3 domestic games, 2 in the league, in the Premier EPL, one was he
Talent Cup against Newcastle.
He lost all those 3 games without Rodri. He has him back now. Like I said, I know City don't usually start good in the league, but being taught now at this point after 8 games looks a little bit strange to anybody to understand. And if they don't manage to win this weekend, it's really going to be difficult considering how Liverpool, Arsenal, and who is Tottenham are doing so far. What do you expect Pep to do in this game? Do you think the woes might continue? Because I mean, Brighton has become one of the boogie games, the teams for most big teams in England. They are mute.
Yeah, hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, my apologies. Yeah, I would predict a draw a marginal win for City in this game. And here's my reason. Rodri, my goodness, Rodri is an incredible player. I mean, I've always rated Rodri quite highly. If you watch the last 2 games, these 2 games over this weekend for Spain, and so if you had seen what Rodri did for Spain in that midfield, Initially, one thing that I liked him for, and I also completely disliked him for, was his persistent fouling without being booked. I mean, this guy has the knack for fouling incessantly and flying under the radar with the fouling. He would do it over and over and over and over. The referees will call them marginal fouls. He will do it in such a way that he never gets a yellow card, but they add up and they destabilize the other team. And so that's one of his secret qualities. But now he's added goal scoring, and of course his passing is top class. So Rodri might be the person that will push um, City over the edge. When I talked about big game players, he's one of them, right? When it's really, really tight, somebody makes a difference. He did that at the Emirates last season. When Arsenal thought they had finally gotten over the City hoodoo, he came up with a goal to win 2-1. You know, so that's the kind of things that Rodri can do. Now, I'm also predicting a marginal win for City is I discovered I got to learn the other day that over this international break, Brighton had 8 players that went to play for their national teams. So Brighton is no longer one of those teams that you have majority of their players, resting and waiting for the weekend, right? Because of their performances, they've also earned call-ups to their national teams. Yeah. And so the wear and tear that other big teams experience, they will start to experience the same wear and tear with players traveling, playing internationals, and coming back. So just based on that basis, I would say normally if they were well rested and just waiting on City, I would say, man, there's a likelihood that they will beat City. But I think that City might have a slight edge, but they are always a banana skin, just like Nimi said, for City.
Chioma, before we move on, end this segment, do you have anything to say? Do you think Pep is going to let the gap between Arsenal, Liverpool, potentially, and Tottenham increase, in this game, or is going to be brutal and try to get maximum points and keep pace with the top 2 teams? Because if Liverpool wins this weekend and City doesn't manage to win, City will go 4th on the table, and if Arsenal and Tottenham wins, so that's going to be a very strange outlook on the table, considering what has happened in the last 5, 6, 7 years.
Oh, I think I had mentioned that this season will be a very strange season. Okay, I mean, we can already see that, we can smell it. Tottenham acting like, they've got some cojones. I don't know where they are getting that from. So I think we should expect something strange on the table. But yeah, talking about City, let me just talk about Harland. Okay. I don't think Harland is stressed or anything. I don't think he is not in form. I think Harland has been discovered. That's the word. Harland has been discovered. I watched their game the other day. He kept running up and down. And I mean, it was a very uncomfortable game to watch because he wasn't doing anything. He couldn't score. He was just running up and down. I mean, the midfield were trying to do something. Odegaard was up and about, but it still wasn't working. So the answer to that is Harland has been discovered. He's been made out. So any team that will be playing City now and sees Harland, they shouldn't be scared. Seriously. Because now his qualification is hanging in the balance over some permutation that I don't even want to get into, which is also a shocker for a Ballon d'Or nominee. Now, how does it make my Nigerianness feel? I feel good. But that's by the way. City versus Brighton. I hope that for the sake of their table and the position, Pep doesn't overthink this one. Because he tends to overthink this kind of games, and then he comes in and it's a complete shocker. We saw it happen with Wolves. Yeah. Wolves are, they are boogeymen to all the big teams, yeah. But I think overthinking doesn't really work out for him. So when he overthinks again, it happens in his formation. And, now that, let's hope Rodri doesn't come back anyway. I just said
Exactly.
that out loud. Let's hope
Exactly.
he doesn't come back. Yeah, because if he finds his way back to that team, he don't be.
Yeah, like you mentioned, Pep sometimes he might want to prove that Rodri is not, everybody's saying without Rodri, City can't win. He might go and say, okay, you've not been in the team, sit this one out, and then the unthinkable happens. Yeah, I hear you, and it's really City has to win this one. There's no two ways about it. They just have to win it because if they don't, then. But if you guys remember at the beginning of the season, I remember when we almost had an argument about City. I told you that City are going to falter this season because I felt that last season they narrowly escaped an implode because it seemed to me from the outside that there are some problems in that dressing room that Pep managed to galvanize the team to sit up in the second half of the season. And of course, Arsenal gave them that chance because of how they faded out in their form. City looked like they were magical. If you look at that season very well, City wasn't the City that we used to know. And again, losing these players. I remember you said that City always has a way of replacing their players when they leave. But when a team loses what's his name? Ryan Mahrez, loses Gundogan, and who again, I think about 2 or 3 of their players left. It took some time to get Bernardo Silva and the Kyle Walker to extend their contract. So that shows you that something is going on there. And having won the treble last season, it's also possible that the motivation is not really there again for the players to keep going because there was this hoodoo hanging over their head on not winning the Champions League. They eventually achieved that last season. So Pep has a job to do to galvanize these players this season to get them firing again. And the unfortunate thing is, before when City are not on it, most teams too are not. But this season is different. City is not on it. Arsenal is winning. Tottenham is winning. Liverpool is trying to, have their resurgence going for them. So it's really tricky for City. I can't imagine anything other than a win for them this weekend. And if they don't, then it's going to be. I know it's still early in the season, but going 5-6 points behind after 8 games. I don't think with the team that they have now, I don't think that is going to mean well for them. So yeah, that's that for that. We hope that Brighton, as an Arsenal fan, of course, I want City to falter. I want Brighton to win because I want City to go as far as possible behind Arsenal as they can be, so that it gives you some breather to
City is
watch.
not our competition this season.
To go into some games with
They're not.
in that section because when you know that City is behind you, 2 points or 3 points behind you, every game is a final for you as a fan. It's not easy to watch your team play and you're just 2 points ahead of City because they always have a way to grab their 3 points. So for rival fans, for the change, for the league, and for the spectacle of EPL, it would be nice for another team to take charge this season and probably manage to win the league so that people it's beginning to look like a farmers league because City just finds a way to win season in, season out. So yeah, we'll see how those games pan out.